Hello and welcome back everybody. How are we all doing today? We are in another video, another very good video if I may add. We're in the T-10, which is a Tier 9 Russian heavy tank. We're on Muravanka, which I must admit is not my favourite map. We're not top tier, but we're not so bad. There's a fair few Tier 9s, quite a bit in terms of variety, and a few Tier 10s as well, of which mainly tank destroyers, but we'll get around that anyway. One of the main reasons I use this tank in just in this specific video is I'm looking to try and eventually get to the IS-7. I know it's a very good tank and I've been trying to get back into playing this tank. It's something different when it's certainly top tier. If you're not top tier, still not so bad. With Muravanka, I'm sort of sat in the middle. There's a lot of ridge lines I can actually use to make sure I'm not really in too much of an exposed position. There is artillery in the game, but I want to be in a place where I can get shots off into the middle, onto the side. Hopefully into the E75, but he's slightly behind cover. Maybe some of the people to the left. Fortunately, with the way this game has gone, the middle has actually been proven to be a very, very good spot for us to go in because they've all gone around to the right-hand side. Not really much that goes on for the first part of the game because of that. A lot of them are in cover. Get a nice shot into the other enemy tier 10 and ammo rack him. But for the time being, that's pretty much all we do. Whilst that's going on in that case, what's about the tank? Well, it's sort of like a medium. The armour on the tank isn't specifically amazing from the front. It's got a very large lower front plate that does get penned on a regular basis. Its turret is actually very, very good, difficult to hit for the weak spots such as your commander copula, and it can side scrape, but a reverse side scrape is ideal. I did try it in a game and got 3,600 blocked and did do a fair amount of damage myself, so it can be very, very useful. One of the main reasons for the reverse side scrape is that you don't get the tied little parts that are easy to hit. They're well angled, but people still have an easy option of hitting you. Whereas if you reverse side scraping, that's pretty much all the enemy gets, and it's not really something they can shoot and aim at and do a fair amount of damage other than tracking. That's the only thing I found people did. The gun is my top tier. It's the 122mm. The Alpha, roughly 440, can be a bit lower, can be as high as 500 plus. Has a decent penetration of 258, 340 with a heat, and 68 with a high explosive, of which this round, because I fire off so many shots, I end up using all three. Now we're sort of in the midst of the game, people have sort of figured out where everyone is. There's a T-54 that I think has decided to go back along the base because of the lack of support around that side. And I'm just sitting here. There's a bit of a stalemate in the middle because the buildings are in cover as well. This actually becomes a favourable position for me because I'm able to get shots off into people that are in the middle without being spotted. But there's a lot of times when people are just stalemating, so there isn't much reason to go forward or to do something that's going to be stupid if you can get shots off into people and eventually wear them down, especially when you're not really receiving much fire from many other tanks. In my case, just a T-32. It works out very, very well. People are starting to push down the right hand side as you see it on the map, but a large proportion of their team are on the other side. All well and good. When you do take the tank out, just remember that it's loaded up. So this one in particular, because I enjoy the Russian bias, vertical stabilizers, enhanced gun lane drive, and I've got the gun rammer on there as well. Got a semi full crew because I've taken it from my object 140, so the reload's about 10.5, 10.66. Not ideal, and I would really like it to be a little bit quicker, but either way it still ends up working out quite well. As we move into the middle of the map, we're starting to make a slight little push. It's still a stalemate in some regards, but there's so many people in their team that have actually got hardly any health, and they've taken off quite a bit. Artillery is dead, the T-54 is dead, the E-75 is pretty much on his own, and he's going to get flanked very soon. It's sort of, I know it seems to be odd, but we just need to take the damage and try and wear them down a little bit more. That's the side part, by the way, in which making side scraping is a little bit easier reversing rather than being there forward. A lot of stuff I've noticed goes through, and it's been a troublesome factor with this tank that I've had. It's not an enjoyable part. So if you can, try and reverse side scrape. If you can, better get shots into people that are not looking at you. Unfortunately, a low damage roll on him, which was a kind of an annoyance, but that's okay. As it is now, we are getting further and further into the game, but the idea that wearing people down. There's a stalemate, being the one tank that can take pot shots into people and forcing them to move into a different position, forcing them to make a decision on where they want to go, basically wanting them to do something which they don't want to do themselves. Unfortunately, the shot from the 263 did go into me, and it wasn't really a nice one of him, but I get a return fire. Unfortunately, don't kill him because Russian bias, but that's okay. I'm going to stay behind cover. The stairs that are here should protect me from the waffle, who for whatever reason is firing APCR, because reasons, but he's going to go around the side. He's managed to somehow survive on full health. I don't really want to expose too much to the 263, but he's going to get killed, thankfully, by the T-54 lightweight, and we're going to then concentrate on the rest of the team. I don't want to be too overexposed as it is forward, but thankfully, because the Jagdpanzer E100 is facing the other way, I'll get a nice decent shot into him with 424. Artillery will take him out. The only thing I've got to worry about at the moment now is just the T-34 in front of me. Once he's gone, it's pretty much plain sailing. The way the game's gone at the moment now, it's all coming together. All the pieces are fitting in, aside from the odd trolley miss because mega reasons, and a decent shot there from artillery. It's just going to be a clean-up crew, try and get as much damage and XP. I really want that IS-7, and I really wanted it a lot more than other people wanted to win this game. I've used up all my standard rounds. I've only got 8 left of the heat. I'm going to load up high explosive rounds and hit the U100, and this is where things start getting really fun. Decent shot into him, getting 500. He does get a shot into me, but then that's what you expect when you fire an APCR, and then bounces multiple times. I don't know what he was trying to do. He missed me there. He bounced. He's bounced again, rocking back and forward, trying to get that stupidly long reload to work, laughing my arse off as it's happening, and boom, goodbye. I reckon that's karma for firing APCR out of a waffle. Maybe he only had it left, I don't know, but that's regardless to the point. That was still a lot of fun, and somehow it can still bounce even though he's aiming down on top of the turret. They just didn't want to go through. Maybe it just wasn't aiming in the right spot. Oh well. The E75 is the only person left in this game, and it's been quite a good one for myself. 14 damaging hits, 3 spot target hits, of which they weren't particularly amazing, but that's okay. Make that 15, and 3 kills overall. Very, very surprised. And the surprise really continues. It's a mastery badge. I only got 22,000 silver, that's okay, but I'll take the 6,295 damage, 1,400 blocked. Obviously not too much in the assist side of things, but mastery badge, not too shabby. Only 1,831, so I don't think people are actually physically playing the game, which, that's okay. But you can sort of see that because of the direction the other team went in, there's a lot of zeros on their team, and Mr. Waffle did load up just standard, well, just basically APCR, didn't really do too much. So that's a bit of a strange one, to be perfectly honest. But they were let down quite a lot by the people. I mean, I think the Tiger 2 went to the right along with the T-30. They didn't really have the backup to go that direction, and a lot of their team just caused a stalemate in the middle, and we were allowed to flank them and move around, and we pretty much wiped the floor with them. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful people later.